Welcome to Standing Mondays,
where ambitious women come together to dream bigger,
think deeper,
laugh louder,
and pour into one another.
We're your hosts, April and Bree.
Friendship is such an important element in our lives as women. And something really funny that I think about when I think about friendship is I was watching maybe Instagram and I seen the actress Regina Hall, and she asked the question, if you ask a married man who's his best friend, he's likely to say his wife. But if you ask his wife the same question, she's like, Sarah.
Right.
You know? Like she really has a best friend. Yeah. And so I think that just is a funny way to, show how important friends are for women.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know today what I'm really excited to get into this, because we're going to talk about what is the value of friendship? What does it mean to us? And I'm really excited to talk about old friendships and new friendships and how they coexist, how they expand us, how they anchor us. So let's just get right into it. I know, April, I think about this a lot with you, is you really exemplify to me what a friend is, what it means to be a great friend, from the reciprocity to the care, the consideration that you have. And you speak very highly of your friendships too. So I see you as someone who really has understood what that means and the power in it. So tell me, what does friendship mean to you?
Wow. Yeah. So friendship for me is sisterhood. 3-hour long phone calls sometimes when you're catching up. It's grace. I think especially in adulthood, when you have families and you have careers, some are entrepreneurs, that is a busy life, you know? And so how do you maintain friendships when you are when you have all of that going on? So it's a lot of grace. So friendship is grace to me. It's trust. It's just knowing somebody have your back. You know, someone has your back. They'll be there for you they'll pick up the phone. They're there at the drop of a dime to just be there for you. It's laughs, it's being silly, it's getting to just, let your hair down and just be your real self.
Yeah, I love that. And I hear the phrase that friendships are the family you choose, right?
Yeah,
and I think that rings true a lot of times. And I want you to tell us more, because you have a core group of friends that you speak as family, as sisters. And it was a group that, how you say, may have chose you in some ways, just how it all came about and how it has stood the test of time. So will you please tell us about this?
So these are my friends, and they are friends that I've had for over 30 years. And that is so crazy when I think about it. It's like, this is 3 decades of friendship. And yeah, I think because I had such a traumatic childhood, I just lost a lot of pillars in my life. My mom, my dad wasn't really around, and just those core people. I think God knew that I needed a good group of friends. Like, I am blessed with the friends that God has given me, and I just feel like He was like, you're gonna need them. They've been there through the celebrations. They've been there through the times that has been hard in life, and vice versa for me, for them. We, like I was talking about, grace is not something, we don't talk every day. We don't talk every week. Sometimes it's months go by and we haven't talked. But when we do talk, it's like you never missed a beat, and so that's just something really special, and I appreciate that, because that can be rare. You know, that can be
Yeah.
rare. Not everybody understand, and I think we've been friends so long that we just understand one another. We know one another, and when those times happen, when there's those pauses of communication, we understand.
Yeah, I love that. And what I really hear is that what you're saying is friendship fortified over time
Mm-hmm.
begets that grace and that real true knowing of a person, and it's like you never skipped a beat. And I know I have those experiences with some friendships in my life, but really, April, my story is different when it comes to friendship.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I was that person who kind of longed for that, like, oh, why don't I have this core group of friends that we've all grown up since babies, and we can talk about it when we're 100 years old and have these traditions. And so I really wanted that for a while.
Yeah.
But my journey to friendship was actually different, right?
Yeah.
So growing up for me in my childhood is changes, consistent changes, really, when it comes to whether I was going to a different school one year after the other or living in a different city one after year after the other. It really slowed down my desire to make friends, really, and to keep them and to like maintain that.
Yes.
And I found myself going really within and becoming my own friend, being my own sounding board, being my own guide for a lot of things. I mean, I'm grateful to have my family and such, but when it comes to friendship type relationships, I really guided myself a lot of the way. Now, don't get me wrong. We finally settled after a while. And so shout out E, shout out CO. Y'all know who y'all are, who are my longstanding friends that we do have that bond with. Yeah. But I just wanted to call that out, that to see how your childhood and things can formulate how you see friendship. And I can tell you, I never thought about maintaining friendships for the ones who stayed by me with my terrible ways. I mean, thank you. but it really wasn't until I moved out of state for the first time and recognized that something was missing. And I said, and I at first really couldn't identify what was missing. Yeah. But what I started to do was to show up in spaces that felt good to me, go to things that were interested in me, and just start to engage with my environment and the people in it. And I started to see, oh, I should socialize. You know, this is nice. I should talk to some people,
like
right?
Ari Lennox, I need people.
Right, exactly. And so I started doing that, and then the people who were for me, who were showing up open and willing and looking for similar experiences, we clicked. And now I'm really proud to say I have friends all over the globe from that type of friendship building. Yeah. And my last move that I made, I'm grateful for the moves I made prior because I was able to understand the value. So that last move I made is I say, you know what? I know the power of community and building strong friendships, and I know how to do it.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to hopping in and getting engaged in the community to see who are my people here, right? And that's kind of, I think, how we met. Was I just started showing up to things that I was interested in, and you was doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was. I think that's so, important to just highlight the differences of how you make friends and learning that. But yeah, our story was that showing up in places that, brought us joy or that just was a good feeling. And we met at a cooking class.
Yes, we did.
And it's so funny because we found out that we were from the same city in that cooking class, but we did not exchange phone numbers, Instagram handles, or anything like that.
We could have that could have been the last time we saw each other. But here's the thing, though. But we kept showing up to places that felt good to us.
Yes.
And then we kept seeing each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. We were on different paths, but different journeys, but on the same path, I think. And it just kept bringing us together from shared interests and shared goals that we had. And I know a lot of people see us now. For instance, we're doing the podcast and they may have seen us doing other things together. And it's just like, where did this come from? Right? But this has been building over time. That cooking class was in 2019. 2021 and fast forward now to 2026, you know, so it took patience.
That's right.
It took patience. It took trust in us getting to know each other over time, and you know, just seeing like, is this a person you would want to be a friend, you know, have as a friend. And it went from us just like randomly seeing each other in places to us being more intentional with when we would get together. And it was like, when you needed me for something, I showed up, and when I needed something, you showed up. And I think over time that just built trust. And something else is that a lot of times you may see someone on social media, or you see them out as you're networking, as we were seeing each other, and you could say to yourself, oh, I would love for that person to be my friend. They're so bubbly, their energy is great, and all of that. And that's what you see on the outside. But you don't see the other parts of them, right? And so when you're thinking about friendship as an adult, it takes vulnerability, right? For people to see those hidden parts of you, and opening yourself up to allowing someone to do that.
Yeah, and I want to say something there, because you know what'll make you real vulnerable? Entrepreneurship.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, that'll break it down, baby. That'll break it down. So I want to pause there, because even in this midst that we laughed about this off the camera, because we don't even know how our phone numbers got into each other's. We don't remember the exact moment of when we actually exchanged contact information.
Yes.
But we do remember a moment where we were running our business out of the same shared kitchen, commercial kitchen, and you know, that is hard work when it comes to just, you know, all it takes in a production mode, and that is a vulnerable space to be in.
Yes.
And so, you know, days, nights where we say, you go girl, just a little encouragement to pep each other up, just in passing.
Yes.
That's what we would do. And just, you got this, girl, how you doing, you holding up all right? And just those little things all were just drops in the bucket, right? Where we said, somebody is rooting for me. Somebody is rooting for me, you know. And I just felt like that was a moment. And I know for me, I remember when you talk about vulnerability, I was 8 months pregnant. You know, my husband like, you need to stop doing this business, you know, because I'm like waddling around and complaining at home later. And I remember going to April. She was in the kitchen. I said, you know, this is it for right now. This is it. I'm calling it right now. And like, she was really the first person I told. She didn't ask for it. She was there. She happened to be there. She didn't ask for anything. She was doing her own stuff, you know? And I just think that vulnerability, that we built a familiarity with each other. Those nuggets of encouragement that we kept pouring into each other opened up us to be more vulnerable. And it really is beautiful how that unfolded.
Yeah, and I'll speak to one incident. We were on the phone, and you were saying, everything you do is gonna be gold. If you make cupcakes, that's gold. If you coach, that's gonna be gold. Everything you do will turn to gold. And just after I got the phone with you, it was just that energy that I felt, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's an important energy to have in, you know, as a friend.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for saying that. And I, you know, what it is, if we boil it down, when you talk about energy, is you can go through all the science, you can read books on friendship and all this. Sure, go all down that rabbit hole. But how do you feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel better or worse when you leave this person or this situation?
Yeah.
That should be enough information to say, okay, do I want more of this or do I need less of this? Right? And I think that just helps us. And our emotions are cues, right? Our emotions guide us to what we need more or less of. Yeah. And I just think that's a great example of how we say this is good for us, right? For us as individuals and what we're building.
Because as an adult, building friendship is different. When you're smaller, when you're a kid, it's, you know, it's way more proximity. But as an adult, it's more like you said, how do I feel after I speak to this person? Is it heavy? You know, you're more intentional, I would say, when you're an adult.
More intentional, and because we have to be, and it's a little bit more purposeful. It has to be meaningful, because our time is precious. And we don't realize how precious time is. As we become older, we become more aware how precious time
you
is.
do. Yeah.
And so we have to spend it wisely.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a great call out on the intentionality of adult relationships and the maturity it takes, the patience. We talked about the patience it takes. And, you know, as a result of what we've become to build, like we said, we show up for each other. We show out for each other. We each other's camera people. We videographer for each other, whatever. But, you know, we've getting paid together, you know, contract. I'm just saying there's really, at this point, we can really harness this. And that is why we said, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we're harnessing it, how we can express that and impart others to harness that part of friendship that can unlock just new levels and perspectives on your life.
New levels and perspective, just a new colorful way to live your life.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I think that is a great add is the color, because life is so bright, vibrant, and we all have a different hue to bring. So if you think about the idea of our old friends, we love them, and then our new friends as well, we love them too, but every person in our lives
brings something different. Yeah.
And that makes our life so much more rich, right, and fulfilling.
Your circle of friends is not full, you know, it's not complete. It's ever expanding if you are open to it. And so we are definitely encouraging you to just open yourself up to the possibility of new friendships. We have a challenge for you this week. Reach out to one of your long-term friends and just let them know how much you appreciate their friendship. Maybe that's a text, maybe it's a phone call, but just reach out and let them know, hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is, this month, open yourself up to an experience. Open yourself to attending something new. Go to a space that feels good to you, even if that means you have to show up by yourself, because you might find your people there. So that's one way to do it.
Yeah. And speaking of sharing with your friends and showing up, we would love for you to share this with your friends if any of this resonated with you, and subscribe to our channel if you want to continue to see videos like this.
That's right. Well, till next time, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.